Hello and welcome everybody to the fourth devlog for Darkest Day, Brightest Night. It's been 2 weeks since the last one, and this will be a very short devlog, quickly discussing what I've been up to the last 2 weeks. Guess it's been very stressful. Okay, so progress is a little bit slower with the whole coronavirus issue and my exhaustion. Some massive bugs that I had to fix. So first of all, I was planning on adding more animations. Did not get to that yet. Started 2 weeks ago with adding wall running and jumping, and it broke the physics engine again. The physics engine I was using, the one I made, so it's not entirely physics engine, more velocity calculation engine, whatever. It was a bit too complex for its own good. The way it calculated everything and then assembled it all for the player was let's just say it wasn't the best. It caused a lot of issues. It required multiple checks at the total calculation of everything to check that, to make sure that no wrong values were given to the player, and I had to change that completely. First of all, I moved everything back from the PC main back to the PC physics object, to its own step event here, and I got everything separated into their own sections again. This time every section has a can and an allow entry, and then it has a single exit as well. The can simply enables or disables the entire module. These modules are designed situated I can simply delete this and the game will still work perfectly without crashing. And that's the major benefit of this new system. And then the allow is just another check if the player is actually allowed to use that piece of that module at that time. And instead of what I did before was adding all the velocities together in the total velocity, I now have an array, an empty list. If one of these modules wants to push a velocity to the player, they put it in that list. And then the player just gets everything from the array, counts it together, stuffs it into the player. Conversion's also done within the module itself. As soon as you give the velocity to the array, you convert it through a script type road, so it's in meters per second. This should solve the issues that I had where conversions were used on numbers that weren't supposed to be converted, or were converted wrongly and caused wrong results. That's fixed now too. Another thing I did was replace most of the formulas that calculated each and every speed and every velocity. And now we actually have working formulas that make sense. So if I want the player to jump 2 meters into the sky, I simply have to set his jump height to 2 rather than just a number and then tweak it until it jumps too high. It's calculated correctly now, which is a big thing. And it also allowed me to add in a wall latch system while running, while jumping, all that kind of stuff. Works sweet now. Revamped the way resistance is calculated, but momentum's being kept properly now too, which is a big deal. I had some major issues with running as well, especially with acceleration and deceleration. If you kept your momentum, it will cause issues with air movement. It caused major issues with resistance, which is why resistance was disabled during running previously. No, it isn't. It will also properly reduce your speed after rolling or dashing. Dashing's been changed as well. It's no longer a blink into a certain direction, but rather a dash backwards, kind of an evasion move. Added in better physics, better collision checking as well. It's more accurate now, more optimized. If the player's crouching under a wall or something and there is no room to stand, the player will remain crouched. all that basic stuff. And as far as I know, movement's been fully coded and fully done. And it feels a lot better now as well. We're also much slower when crouching, and as you can see, the hitbox remains the same. Of course, sprite is still just the default ones, because I haven't made any other sprites yet. What I'll be doing is creating a test level, like next week, or during the week, rather. And I'll have the test level be played by my beta testers, and they can try and find any remaining bugs, and most importantly, check if movement feels fluent, and if it feels satisfying to use. Because that's the most important part. It needs to be simple, easy to understand movement that also feels really good. Because it's an important aspect of the game to be able to go to places without really concentrating on it because you're busy concentrating on the combat. You can see you could wall jump, climb walls because of that. You slide down the wall, which is a slow descent. I'll probably speed it up a bit. Values need tweaking. The actual distances and speeds at which you travel need to be balanced eventually. That largely depends on how combat will be paced, but at least the functions around it work perfectly now. It's neat, it's smooth. The older version can actually wall climb. There's this minor bug yet that I have to fix, where if you climb up, it checks for ledges. It does that. If you climb up, it checks for a ledge and then puts you on it. There needs to be animation for that. Currently, I've only set it to the right side. I need to make a small change, so we just do the left as well. Because though if you climb up on the left wall, it will check on your right side instead of your left side. It's a small change, not much work, but I just need to do it. Didn't really have time for it Friday. It's also why this devlog is so late. Because I completely ran out of time. Anyway, that's what I've been up to past 2 weeks. Number crunching, math, and a whole lot of bug fixes. Yeah, I'll be working on animations. Actually working on animations this time. I'll be creating a test level for my testers to test. Get rid of the last few bugs. And after that I will start on a more in-depth combat system. The combat I have in place right now is a couple simple attacks. I've been working on a more complex system that changes your basic attack system depending on your movement. For example, your most basic attack currently is just using the right arrow key. Shoots off 3 projectiles after a set delay, which will be an animation. Projectiles are slow at the moment, will be sped up a lot, and they will be homing. But for example, if you dash while shooting, you will shoot quicker. That's, for example, something that will change. If you jump while doing that, your animations will also change. Certain attacks will also be different based on what type of movement you're doing at the moment. If you're rolling and you use your basic attack, for example, you will shoot directly up. So that'll allow you to hit targets on the ceiling, stuff like that. A lot of designing to do regarding that, but I'll get there eventually. So yeah, this is a rather short one this time, and I'll see you next devlog, I guess. Probably in 2 weeks, maybe 3. Depends on how quick animating goes and how much coding progress I can make. Also depends largely on, well, my personal health. Because, well, the virus is spooking around here. And it's an absolute mess. Yeah. Well, goodbye. And see you next time.